So there was a $6 million mistake that was made within the Cardano ecosystem over the last 24 hours. And I think that we need to have a discussion about this. I want to make everybody aware of what actually took place. Want to highlight just a few other things going on. Fundamentally, I need to also talk about something that only has 2 days left before it runs out. So if you guys are new or haven't already, show your support for the channel down below. Hit that subscribe button, that bell. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So for those that missed the news, there was a $6 million mistake that was made within Cardano over the last 24 hours. And what actually happened was a dormant ADA wallet tried to convert 14.4 million ADA to USDA, a stablecoin within the Cardano ecosystem. Now, here's the big problem is this liquidity pool that was used did not have much in terms of liquidity, and there was massive slippage, which actually turned this 14.4 million ADA into only 847,000 USDA. So this actually caused a USDA depeg for a short time after basically returning back to $1 now, but it also cost this person a crap ton of money. And some people are saying, oh yeah, this is a big issue with Cardano. It's a thing. And no, it's not. It's a problem with liquidity pools that have very thin liquidity. It's the same in Solana. It's the same in Ethereum. It's the same anywhere you look. If you do this type of thing, you're going to have a similar result. Now, again, this brings about the discussion of, do we need some of these other large stable coins within the ecosystem? Do we need pathways to other ecosystems from many of these large stables in the space? And we can have discussions about this left and right. I think that it would be beneficial to get other stables within Cardano. Again, makes it easier to move from ecosystem to ecosystem. I understand wanting to build organic stables within Cardano, but instead of being kind of stuck on an island right now, it allows you to connect easier. And in fact, it may be the exact thing that brings more liquidity to the ecosystem. That's not really what I wanted to get into in this video, but it's definitely a discussion worth having. So don't do what this person did. Sucks that it happened, but here we are, right? Now, something else I wanted to talk about was this. Ollie Charts actually posted this yesterday, and what it said is 440 million ADA have been sold by whales in just 1 month. And I hate when he does this because the problem is this is only a select group of whales. They seem to cherry pick this data. This is those holding between 100 million to 1 billion ADA. It doesn't include the 10 million to 100 billion. It doesn't include the 1 billion plus. Because what we see a lot of these times is when these charts are posted, the whales are moving from one direction to the other. Some maybe are shrinking their supply, right? Maybe they went from 100 million ADA to 99 million ADA. Well, it shows that they just dumped a bunch of ADA, right? Or maybe they moved from 999 million ADA, or I'm sorry, 999 million ADA to over 1 billion. So you get this kind of ebbs and flows that are taking place, but this doesn't share the whole picture, because what we've watched over the course of 2025 is whales expand and expand and expand. You guys remember that graphic that visual we were just looking at? Over the past week or so, we saw the most aggressive bout of accumulation in terms of all whales that we've seen throughout 2025. So we have to be very careful when we're seeing a lot of this data, because again, they're leaving out a lot of stuff to paint a certain narrative. Now, something else I wanted to show you guys here as well is something that's actually really promising, because obviously a big killer of a lot of our rallies in this market cycle has been leverage. Leverage has been a very big issue, especially when it comes to retail. Retail kind of keeps messing up. And I know that Charles Hoskinson talked about retail and was blaming retail. And a lot of people were asking me about my thoughts on this. We're calling into question his thoughts. The problem really hasn't been retail in and of itself. It's been retail leverage, because retail, if you guys haven't noticed, they tend to leverage at the wrong time. All right. They tend to cause a lot of these big drops. It's the reason why we've had such large liquidations over the course of 2025. It's because retail has been over leveraged, because people were running out of money. They were trying to make more on less money. And I get it, right? I've done the same thing, but I do it at very, very small quantities, right? What I've done in leverage is a very tiny percentage of my bag. And I mostly do it just for fun, just to try to, catch little runs and rallies here and there, or drops, whatever it might be. Right. But if we look basically since May, retail has been dominating the leverage scene. Now, the good news is that following some of these big liquidation events we have seen, retail has bled and bled and bled when it comes to leverage. And that has actually brought us to a point now where the average order size in terms of leverage is down to 1.82K, which is really small. That's down from some of the highs of, almost $5,000 in July. Okay. So we're, again, returning back to more of an organic state in the market. We're turning back to a spot market, which I think is incredibly important. And something else I didn't want to point out here yet is we haven't seen really big whales step in yet, or even smaller whales step in to start doing big leverage yet. So that could be obviously a very important turning point in the market. We're just going to have to watch and wait and see when they start to step in. But the last thing I wanted to tell everybody about is scavenger mine closes in 2 days. You have 2 days left to take advantage of this. If you guys do want to accumulate more night, I mostly just turn mine on when I'm doing content. It's just a pretty small amount, but who knows? Maybe night does incredibly well, and it was definitely worth doing. But that's something, again, you're running out of time on if you want to participate in it. But that's my thoughts. That's what's going on right now. Obviously, there will be more to talk about as the day progresses, but I appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below, but have a great day. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.